All right. Arsenal set Julian Alvarez transfer timeline. You can call it a time frame or ultimatum. And this video of Arsenal setting a Julian Alvarez transfer timeline is powered by Think Landscaping. Think Landscaping are that #1 company that will help you design, plan, and transform your outdoor space in there for you. So, I think I've spoken this for a very long period of time in there for you. You will enjoy the beauty they add onto your place. They'll obviously do the needful, so contact them onto that number because the technical person will pick up that number and will obviously explain to you exactly what you want. And you'll be like, I've been schooled, I've learned, and I'm ready to work with Think Landscaping. They're a company that will serve your dreams in there for you, and they do take their customers their priority, and they help you achieve your ultimate outdoor looks there for you. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name. I hope you guys are really having fun. Continue to subscribe because we want to hit 30,000 subscribers on this channel. Second video of the day coming up here, thick and fast, as we discuss the big one, Julian Alvarez. I think I've had one of you in the comment section. Let me see where I can obviously get his name in there for you. He came up and obviously told me, Rokani, please, can you please highlight us about Julian Alvarez latest story that went ahead to obviously coming through in the recent past, all on Sunday. And it goes by names of Dennis Robert Odeke. He told me that, good morning, RD. Confirm to us news of Julian Alvarez, which broke out yesterday. Thanks for your updates. Now, there are 3 to 4 stories of Julian Alvarez that broke out. And I'm obviously going to be bringing each of them differently. This is the first one out of the 3-4 stories that I'm supposed to be dropping about Julian Alvarez. Now, the first one is coming in through from a gentleman known as Miguel Dillon. In there for you. Miguel Dillon is the chief football writer at The Independent, meaning that if you're a chief football writer at a media outlet, that means you do have credible information about what you're talking about. You understand? So, the chief football writer, The Independent, told us that Arsenal are attempting to get a deal of Julian Alvarez done before pre-season, as the options for the player appear to have lessened due to politics. Alvarez is open to an Arsenal move, but his preference had been to stay in Spain with either Barcelona or Real Madrid. Alvarez has also been Mikel Arteta's main attacking target, but Arsenal naturally looked at other targets as the deal seemed complicated. A prior issue has been that they don't want to go above £90 million, whereas Atletico want north of £100 million in there for you. So, this reporter is telling us that Arsenal have gone ahead to set an ultimatum in there for you, that Julian Alvarez has to arrive at Arsenal before they start the preseason. It's not a must that he's supposed to obviously go ahead and obviously do the preseason with the club of Arsenal, you understand? But they want to get this deal done and dusted before the preseason. Now, when you look at Arsenal, I think they are going to be the last Premier League team to obviously start their preseason. You understand? Let's wait and see. Let's start and see. Let me check here. When are they starting training? Obviously. So, we are being told that the squad is scheduled to officially return for preseason training on Monday, July 20th. You understand? So, between now and 20th, Arsenal want to get the deal done and dusted in there for you. And why are they saying like that? Because they might not get it done between now and 19th, after the World Cup final, or they might even get it done because, one, no one knows what is going to be the outcome between the game of England and Argentina. The moment Argentina is knocked out, obviously, obviously, Julian Alvarez will obviously now open his head to people like Arsenal and Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, and PSG to look out on where he's obviously going to be playing next come the season of 2026, 2027. That is Julian Alvarez for you. So from there, if they reach the final, then it will be very hard for the club of Arsenal to get this deal done, because he will be like, allow me concentrate onto this, and when I'm done, I'll obviously see whether I give you green light or not. You understand? The other factor is Arsenal can obviously use the man known as Andre Batha to obviously talk to Julian Alvarez, because he's the man who convinced him to obviously go and join a club known as Atletico Madrid for Man City. You know, he's the man who bought him there. So they're like, before 20th July, they want this deal done and dusted, because they feel like he's going to be the most expensive player for them to sign. And him being expensive, Atletico wants 120 million euros, that is 100 million pounds, and maybe a player. You understand? And I think Arsenal can go that north, I tell you, because when you look at their summer transfer window, it looks like they will spend 100 on Morgan Rogers, 100 million pounds on Julian Alvarez, another 80 or 100, another 80 on a player known as Bruno Guimaraes, and you have to talk about a player called Tholis coming in for like 30 million pounds. That is like 300 and something. Then they have to go in for a right back, who will be a backup for a player known as Julian Himba. But as things stand, as we think that Arsenal is going in for right back, things might change. Why? Bruno Guimaraes coming to the team, we might see the manager trying out Declan Rice sometimes as a right back. Or else, we might see him continuing to see Mosquera develop as a right back at the club of Arsenal. That is it. It's really very possible. So, Arsenal might go in for three players who are really worth 100 million pounds in Julian Alvarez, Morgan Rogers, and Bruno Guimaraes in there for you. So we wait and see how things really pan out for the club of Arsenal. But this one is really going to be a hard one, because the options are lessening in there for you. And we wait to see how things really pan out, because for Spanish teams, looks like they want 150, 100, they want 500 million euros in there for you, for Real Madrid and Barcelona. So Atletico Madrid is starting to behave as a big team, because big teams are the teams that really come out and say, we are not obviously going to strengthen our enemy. We saw it with Pep Guardiola. He was like, after selling Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus to the club of Arsenal, they went in with the right mentality. They changed the mentality of the club, and obviously the mission was to win the trophy. And ever since the season of 2022-2023, you've gone ahead to see Arsenal giving City a chase for the trophy. And lastly, again, they saw Pep Guardiola lose a trophy to Arsenal in his last season at Man City. You know that very well. So that sends a very huge message to you, how strengthening your enemy really works. We saw Man United, not wanting to sell Marcus Rashford to English clubs, and are putting in a very hefty fee, close to 50 million pounds for Marcus Rashford. So Chelsea is a team that I've not gone ahead to see do it, because they are like selling players to Man United. Andri Santos has gone there. They sold Mason Mount there. They are selling Kai Havertz to Arsenal. They sold Jorginho there. They sold Noni Madueke there. And Arsenal looks like they want to go in for Enzo Fernandez from the club of Chelsea. So Chelsea looks like they want to obviously make money. But for a club like Man City, they don't want to strengthen their opponents in there for you. So that's what Atletico Madrid is like doing. They're like, we are not going to sell a player to Real Madrid unless they trigger the release clause. The same applies to a club known as Arsenal. The same applies, that applies to Barcelona also. 500 million euros. But for clubs outside the Spanish La Liga, I think they might obviously see to it that they will get the deal done and dusted at 100 million pounds or 120 million euros in there for you. Now, I like what Arsenal is doing. They are like, deadline set, that is 20th July, meaning that if 20th July the deal is not done, then Arsenal will move out to another. But they'll be like, now, looks like we're not obviously going to be getting Julian Alvarez, then let's look elsewhere. And I think that will be very fantastic for the club of Arsenal and very visionary, because 20th July, it will be a month from the start of the season, and you'll be needing your player in there for you. And for players that will play in the World Cup final and maybe the losers match, they're expected to return to their clubs to start training around the 1st of August, or 2nd or 3rd in there. So that means if you get in a Julian Alvarez, Arsenal will have him for some time in there for you, and he'll play some of the games in there for you, with Arsenal in there for you, to see to it that they obviously start up their season in a very good manner altogether. So that is it for the club of Arsenal, and they are coming in thick and fast. So that is it for Julian Alvarez. I think Odeke, I've gone ahead to serve you to your expectations in there for you. Now, from there, let's obviously head to Lucas Digne. Lucas Digne is a player that was playing at Everton in there for you. And I tell you what, he's at the World Cup playing as a left back for the side of France. And now we are having a story from Fabrizio Romano. Lucas Digne to Paris Saint-Germain. Here we go. Verbal agreement done with the French left back. PSG already informed Aston Villa. They will pay the release clause after the World Cup. Fee under 10 million euros. Digne accepted role as Nuno Mendes' backup at PSG. Now, PSG is really going to be one of those teams that obviously going to be facing what we call a very huge opposition in there for you, especially come next season. Now, if you look at Nuno Mendes and how he has been used in the previous 2-3 seasons, you expect him to obviously have a very high chance of obviously getting an injury this coming season. You know, playing all the games for PSG in the league and in almost the UEFA Champions League when he has been available. He played very many games for the club of Portugal, however much he's now resting, meaning that you need to see to it that you get in a player, you'll see him rest to balance up, you know, that you'll see him balance up the minutes. You understand? You know? So, as it stands, right? Lucas Digne is joining a team known as PSG. He's a good left back. And I tell you, him going to PSG, we'll see him maybe get into that role and really outshine who we call Theo Hernandez for the side of France. Because Theo has done a very good job in there for you at a club known as France, and this man being at Aston Villa, shining in the Premier League and putting in what we call consistent performances in there for you. The lad has put out a very huge case, and PSG are like, all right, you've been at Aston Villa, you've played in the Champions League, UEFA Europa League, why not obviously take you to this other level, right, of a team that is really winning? And if I told you are Digne, you obviously have to allow this happen in there for you. But for Aston Villa, I do believe that they do have another left back that I really admire a lot. And he goes by which names? Aston Villa left. They bought him from Chelsea. He had a very beautiful season at Borussia Dortmund. Ian Masten in there for you. So this boy, Ian Masten, I just love him. You know, I love the player, and I do believe he's really one of those that has gone ahead to change lots of things at the side of Villa in that left back position, because he played 30 Premier League games for Aston Villa. You know, he had 1 assist though, but he's really good. And I really like the way he defends and how he progresses in his offensive play. So, he's good. UEFA Europa League, 11 games, 1 goal. And he saw his team really lifting a trophy. And that is really great for the side of PSG. For the side of Aston Villa. So, PSG are getting in Lucas Digne. Good player. And I know he will obviously accept the role of being the understudy of Nuno Mendes. Right now in the world, Nuno Mendes is one of the best left backs in the world as we speak. So let's leave the Digne deal in there for you and let's focus onto this Xabi Alonso story about Nicolas Jackson returning from Bayern Munich on loan. And Alonso has said Nicolas Jackson is joining the tour in Asia. And we are looking forward to working with us. So, now, Nicolas Jackson, to me, he is a player who is supposed to be second fiddle, right? Though, he makes other players really look good. That is it. You won't deny that. He makes other players look good. In the seasons, he played with Carl Palmer. I tell you, Carl Palmer was given lots of spaces, and the lad went ahead to obviously see him really put in a very huge shift in the final third of the pitch. And Carl Palmer recorded very many assists and very many goals, meaning that they had understood each other very, very well. And he had read him like a book, and obviously everything was really moving on as these two wanted it to be. But the changing of managers saw the team of Chelsea choose Liam Delap over Nicolas Jackson, and I think they were proved wrong. That they went ahead to make a bad decision, because Nicolas Jackson scored very many goals, though he missed many. But how many did Liam Delap score in his debut season at a club of Chelsea? When you look at Liam Delap, let's obviously get to his stats and see. Liam Delap, how many goals did you score? Liam Delap. Liam Delap played 28 Premier League games and scored 1 goal. Let's go to Nicolas Jackson and see. So, Nicolas Jackson, who many saw as not clinical, not what, he did wonders at the side of Chelsea. In his first season, 35 games, 14 goals and 5 assists. Second season, 30 games, 10 goals and 5 assists. You understand? So, 2 seasons he has recorded 24 Premier League goals and 10 assists. Those are 34 goal involvements, meaning that in every and every game, in every and every 2 games, you obviously expect this guy to register something special for you. And I'm talking about a person called Nicolas Jackson. So I think if I told you what Xabi Alonso, you weigh in and you obviously come to a conclusion that I tell you, this guy is obviously going to be doing big and better for this particular club. Now, if you're talking about the preseason and the manager is going to hit to confirm, when do we expect to see him really get into action for Chelsea under Alonso? Remember, they were knocked out, I think, at the round of 32, right? That is Senegal. And that means around 20th, right? 20th, 21st, he'll be back with Chelsea. He needs to rest because they had a World Cup. So, on the 28th of July, Chelsea will play Western Sydney Wanderers. 1st August, Chelsea will play Tottenham Hotspur. 5th August, Chelsea will play Juventus. And 8th August, Chelsea will play Inter Milan. And I think that will be their last preseason game. I think they might obviously have one at what is it called? Stamford Bridge, before they open up away at West Ham on the 24th of August in the Premier League, as they do the needful to obviously start up their campaign under Xabi Alonso. So guys, your thoughts on Arsenal set Julian Alvarez transfer ultimatum are welcome in the comment section below. Alonso welcoming back Nicholas Jackson, is it a good move? And on Nicholas Jackson and Liam Delap, who do you obviously have to obviously be the understudy of Yao Pedro, because for him is untouchable. And lastly, what do you make about Lucas Digne to the side of PSG? Rokani David is my name. I sign out for now. See you later, and we love you.